Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for standing by, and welcome to the CA Process Automation Global User Community Webcast. All lines have been placed on mute to prevent any background noise. After the speaker's remarks, there will be a question-and-answer session. If you would like to ask a question at that time, simply press star, then the number 1 on your telephone keypad. If you would like to withdraw your question, please press the pound key. Thank you. I would now like to turn the conference over to Mr. Henry Taylor, Process Automation Community President. Sir, you may begin your conference.
Thank you, Paula. Good morning or good afternoon, depending on which side of the Atlantic you're all on. I'd just like to welcome you all to the quarterly webcast. We're going to be covering the troubleshooting within PAM today. Miguel will be taking us through that. But before Miguel starts, I'm going to hand over to Dorothy, who's just going to talk a little bit about the competition that we've got going, the contest. So, Dorothy, over to you.
Hi. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. I want to thank you all for attending today. I want to talk a little bit about our contest that we have running. What we're actually looking for are some speakers that will present on our quarterly or bi-quarterly meetings that we're going to have. It can be any topic that you want. We're looking for just a newer speaker. And as a reward, what we're going to do is have a drawing of all the speakers that volunteer. One speaker will be selected to attend CA World. The cost, the fees coming in will be free. You will be responsible for all your own travels that. But we look forward to you. And as you can see, the contest concludes at February 15th. We look forward to any of your suggestions or volunteers coming forward. We really would appreciate it. We want to keep our community going, and plus we want to benefit from all the knowledge of our user community group. Now I'm going to turn this over to Miguel. So he's going to be being the presenter today. He's actually coming from Portugal to speak with us today. As you can tell, our speakers come from all over the world, so we're open to any speaker. Miguel, I'm going to turn it over to you, please.
Hello, my name is Miguel. Good afternoon. I'm on the other side of the Atlantic. That's why I'm afternoon. Today we will cover how to troubleshoot PAM log files, common errors, and clues. Okay, the advantages of a good troubleshooting technique are obvious. With a particular focus on time savings in a project implementation. Our objectives for today are identify which PAM log files are used to identify problems, learn troubleshooting techniques, and by being familiar with PAM log files and troubleshooting techniques, you can diagnose and resolve your problem more efficiently. Okay. Standard techniques for troubleshooting problems with ITSM components can include the following. Verify always if your Windows services or agents are running. If your user account has permission to execute the necessary procedures, always verify the directionality of the names. The machines must learn how to communicate with each other, and verify the required communication ports. We will cover this topic further. In this case, always use the remote console and the administration user, okay, in order to install, and even implementation, it could be nice to use this technique. You must always verify if the servers used for ITSM can talk to each other. If you have touch points, orchestrators, or if you are communicating with a service desk machine, a spectrum machine, they must all talk to each other, okay? Be careful with firewall blocked ports. Test always this on as common if you have any doubt. These techniques must use without any doubt or situation, okay? Those are very important. I could say that 70% of my PAM errors were related with firewalls and DNS problems, okay? Now, first, let's take the configuration files. We have 4. We will discuss them individually right away. We will not lose a lot of time on this slide. We have domain XML stores the system configuration. You can find it on server installation task, obviously. Server c20.config directory. Okay, like an x.env, if you are familiar with service desk, this file is kept to keep the configuration. You should not do any modification on this file directly, only via configuration browser, as you can see on the screenshot. Do not modify domain.xml directly. Okay, we have already config.property. This file contains the specifications of JotaBot settings, and you can find the settings specified during the installation, ports, IP addresses, DNS. You can find this file on installation test, server c20.config directory. Okay, this is a very important clue. It's happening I think 3 times. When you have a server with multiple network cards or complex DNS definitions, and the CFM does not open, backup the original file, the already config.property, and write the following line at the end of the file. jotabot.bind.address equals to o.o.o.o. Or you can try the address of the first network card. This happened when I had a server and they had me a network card for backups. And they happened to work. Okay, I lost some 3 or 4 days trying to understand what happened. And I solved with this line. After you change the file, you must restart Span and see if it solves the problem. Probably true. It also works for complex DNS definitions. This also contains the Java virtual machine specifications. Actually, I never needed to make any change on this file, but you can control the Java inside, the path to SSL certificate, the time forward to ping, and log file settings. You can find it on installation path server c20.g directory. Okay, this file defines the log level for the orchestrator. We will see the log files right away. By the way, you can have 3 log levels, warning info, and error. Okay, log files. Those are the important files. Now we leave the orchestration configuration files and let's see orchestrator log files. We have 4 for main log files: installation.log, boot.log, co20.log. C2O means chaos to order, by the way. And C2OW.log. Okay, the installation.log is obvious. Log messages related to the installation of the ITSM. You can find all these files on the same directory. I will not specify them, they're on the slide. Okay, you can find boot.log, contains all messages logged by core components before the ITSM starts executing. And when you have a problem and you cannot start the service, it will be the first file that you shall see in order to start to debug the problem. when you have a problem in PAM, almost any type of problem, you shall see chaos2order.log, okay? Contains all messages logged by all components after the ITSM process started execution. Typically, like I say in the slide, it's the most important log. The other file, c2ow.log, contains log messages for the Windows Enter Service Wrapper. It's not very used, to be honest. The most used file is chaos2order.log. On this file, you can even see the instance problem, okay? If you have a problem accessing the web service or a script that didn't work, the chaos2order.log gives you the output of the error. Okay, next. Be careful with port conflict. Actually, I don't remember quite well the exact problem, but I think that if we install Boxy and PAM on the same machine, and they are both installed with the default port, there will be a problem. I think it's on the port 8080. I think no, I'm almost sure. That happened to me, and the port got in conflict. I had to change the PAM port. Okay? Please notice this slide before making any installation. You must open the ports on the firewall and be sure that none application will be using this port. Okay, you can access them. Those are the areas where you can access them. You can test the web service link using a very useful application. It's called UI. That application permits you to interact with the web service methods from a very user-friendly graphic user interface. Okay, instead of placing on the URL on the browser, you can use this application. The administration user interface and the secure interface are obvious. You can open via shortcut on the initial menu. Okay, let's see the most common errors when you are dealing with ITSM. We will cover 5 topics. Tools only for version 4.x. It's a little bit different, this version. You have specific situations that we will cover next. Troubleshoot Orchestrator errors, database errors, process errors, and how can you make a backup. Then we will see some tech docs, very, very useful. When you have access to this slide, you can click this link that I have here, PAM tech docs, and you have a list of all the tech docs written by CA that can be useful for you to troubleshoot any errors, installation doubts, all. Very useful link. Okay, please before install any .4.x version, please read the installation guide. If I had to do that, I would save today. Okay? I was getting an error, Excel transactions on Excel server. Okay, and I simply did not remember to see if CA has anything for that, and they had. Okay, I lost 2 days. I couldn't do it. I consult the link that I told you on the earlier slide, and we have the solution. Please always consult the installation guide. The other two links are related with that Excel transaction, and you can also consult them in order to configure your application. On this case, SQL Server to support Excel transactions. Okay, if you cannot start the service, what will you do? You have several options. the first of all, you must review boot.log and care to orders.log. Okay? Probably you will find a solution here. However, if not, verify the Java service. Verify what version are you running. 1.6 is the minimum required. Okay? Verify if the path is within the server chaos2owvcw.conf file. You must find the line wrapper.java.common and you must indicate the right path. Okay? Please notice that the path that I have here is an example. It might not be the same on your installation server. If not, if this didn't work, you cannot start the service anyway. Please modify the file chaos2svcw.conf. You will find two lines, console.log level and syslog.log level. You will place the log level into info, okay, in order to get the information needed. If you get into here and you did not start the service, probably you will need to open a ticket. Okay? You should understand what happened on the first two lines. If not, probably you have a severe error and it will not be. Even that, what can you do? You can stop the service, ITSM service, and you can execute a command line, okay? On that command line, you will replace the start service by a batch file. Do this instead of starting the service. You will see the output directly into the window, okay? It might give you some information of what you are doing. Okay, the last option means that instead of going to services and start the orchestrator, you can do that via command line to obtain all the outputs directly in the window. This might be very useful. I viewed it one or two times, this was useful. Okay, if you cannot access the management console, if the service is started, please review the log, boot.log and chaos2orders.log. After that, verify if Jotobot is up and running. How can you do that? Please press the URL on your browser, hostname.port. There is no item after the URL. You will see a Jotobot page if the web server is started correctly. Okay? After that, you can validate the hostname using the command ping to ping the address and ping the name of the server. Okay, if the user cannot log in the management console, sometimes you can start the console, but you cannot log in by any error, okay? If the login page appears, you have to three types of login, EEM, AD, or LDAP. The most common is EEM. Please validate if you can log in using the same user through any of those authentication methods. What this means? Imagine that you are trying to log in with your user on PAM. You cannot, but you can log with in EEM. Probably you have a communication error with your PAM machine to EEM server. Okay? Validate you can log in using the same user to any of those applications. That's what we're saying here. You see a EEM validate that you can log in under the PAM application or any other application name specified during the installation. If it's an Active Directory, you can do exactly the same thing. Try to log in on a machine with the username and password. Just as we said, review the logs to see if there's any lack of communication between the authentication servers. There's even another problem. The EEM it's very sensitive, as you say, during the installation. If there is any problem working in the EEM at the first time you install, there's a chance that you installed it wrongly. Okay? Please, in the release note, follow the instructions on how to create the certificate from SafeX. If required, modify ITSM AEM.xml from the application name and password. If required, verify direct login to EEM with other users or the same user. Notice that there is a difference between version 2.x, 3.x, for the version 4.x. There is a difference that is explained on the installation tech doc provided by CA. Okay. On this case, on database issues, I only have experience with SQL Server. The other information I gathered on the documentation in order to try to help if anyone else needs this type of installation. Okay. To MySQL, I found that the following startup variables must be set before installing an orchestrator. Okay. Maximum packet size greater than or equal to 15 megabytes. Local timeout greater than or equal to 60 seconds. Okay? And like SQL Server, database is required by PAM can be created during the orchestrator installation. Okay? This is not happen with Oracle. In Oracle, you must first create the database. Okay? In Microsoft SQL Server, it's fundamental that you install it with mixed authentication mode, and you must specify an account with SQL Server authentication during the orchestrator installation. Okay? In Oracle, the databases, like I said, must be created manually. Okay? First, in order to the process went well. The general automation library, they recommended over 1.5 gigabytes. The queues are recommended over 150 megabytes, and the reporting recommended at over 1 gigabyte. One reporting database can be shared by multiple orchestrators, like in SQL Server, their recommended architecture. And make sure that the connection pool with a maximum of 10 connections and the other settings are correct. Okay? Like I said, I don't have experience with Oracle and MySQL, only with SQL Server. Notice that with Microsoft SQL Server, you must have the XA transactions enabled for the version 4.x, or else you have a problem like me. Two days of problem. Now let's forget the other problem and go to scripting issues. Okay, what can you do? When there are scripting issues with process flows, confirm that the script can run externally to CI/ITSM. Okay, this is obvious. If there's not run externally, it will not run with some in a some process. Confirm that the file association for that computer is there, that you can open the file on that computer. You have the necessary application installed to open it. In the script, you can add the following text: echo, value of variable, you can put the string that you want here, plus, and then you can put the environment variable, okay, and you will output the result. This will put the variable in the database as variable 1, data set as variable 1. Note that you can change the variable. It's not very recommended. I prefer to change the variable on the process itself. You might get some errors and it's not very good debugging process. Okay. When you have web service interaction, we have some projects that we have a PAM machine and we have one service desk server and another Spectrum server. Okay, we interact with them using web services. Those machines must know each other via DNS or via IP. They must talk each other. Okay. When using a external web service through the PAM process, make sure you can access the WSDL link through a web browser. Verify that the WSDL link is on HTTPS, and verify that you can access the link. For example, send a request or using SOAP. Okay, and here talks about everywhere, but I prefer SOAP. Okay. You must always ensure that the machines know each other. How can you back up? You shall back up two things: the database and the directory, configurations directory. The database contains data, the processes, the flows, the connector information. I don't know if you on your company have any database policy backup. We have. You can use that without any problem. The directory contains the domain.xml file. As you see, it's the configuration file, which contains domain and environment data. Okay, you can keep all the folder. The other files contain information related to items, key stores, node configuration, port configuration, DNS configuration. Okay, you need to copy the folder, the entire folder to a different location. I do recommend that you do that mainly if you're using a virtual machine. Okay, it can be tricky, and you can lose a process, a behind process, and a lot of configurations if you don't do that. Okay. Well, we got to an end. I hope this small presentation can help my PAM colleagues solve the future problems. I hope you all have the desired success on your PAM projects, and the PAM community will be always available to help if we have the knowledge to. Any questions?
At this time, I would like to remind everyone, in order to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Once again, in order to ask a question, please press star 1.
While we're waiting to see if there's any questions, I'd just like to make a couple of points quickly. One is the presentation, the slides, and the actual recording will be posted on the community board later in the webcast archive section. Also, our next webcast will be on the March the 14th, and we will send out more information about that shortly. I would also like to ask you to please go and vote on that topic that's up there now, because it's one of the topics that we are considering for a future broadcast.
At this time, we have no questions. Again, to ask a question, please press star 1.
One of the things that we should note is that the presentation will be posted on the community board, so all the slides will be available.
Yep, it will be posted in the Webcast archive, which is a category inside the message board.
Currently, we have no questions. At this time, we have no audio questions. Are there any additional or closing remarks?
Okay, we have a question in the Q&A, and the message board can be found at communities.ca.com. You'll have to look for the Process Automation Global User Community. Join that, and the message board is in the top link. There's a navigation line up there that shows the message board is one of the links. So it's in the PAM community on communities.ca.com. Okay, thank you, Miguel, and thank you, Henry and Dorothy, and everybody who joined today. Again, the recording will be posted in the webcast archive on the Global User Community site, and we'll look forward to talking to everybody again in March.
Thank you. This concludes your conference. You may now disconnect.